big studios. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. You know who preceded Kamala Harris as the junior senator from California? One Barbara Boxer. And it was just a few years ago where Barbara Boxer offered one of these ruling class moments inadvertently about her titles. And David Zucker, one of the geniuses behind Airplane, the underappreciated Kentucky Fried Movie, the Naked Gun franchise, and so forth. David Zucker picked that up and ran with it, and this thing went viral. This was great. It was one of the first sort of really viral parodies of this ruling class mentality that had taken hold inside the Beltway.
My records here, General, seem to indicate the transfer of funds occurred during the previous fiscal year.
Ma'am, at the LACPR is a...
Do me a favor. Could you say senator instead of ma'am?
Yes.
It's just a thing. I worked so hard to get that title, so I'd appreciate it. Yes, thank you.
Yes, of course, Senator.
Much better. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Oh, sorry.
Senator, I can explain. U.S. military policy is to refer to all senior ranking personnel as sir or ma'am, including members of Congress.
Thank you, General Anderson.
Major.
I thought you were a general.
Major general. It's just a thing. I worked so hard for that title. West Point, graduated top of my class. Lieutenant, a couple of combat tours. Captain, major, colonel.
Okay, I get it. You worked hard. I worked hard.
Yes, ma'am.
Senator.
Yes?
I meant General Anderson.
Major general.
Gentlemen, please.
Ow!
Third doctor in the house.
I'm a surgeon. That's 3 more years residency. I worked so hard to get that.
Just put on the bandage. I got one.
Oh, thank goodness, a scout.
Eagle Scout. I worked hard for that title.
I know. You worked so hard to get that freaking title.
Order, please.
Excuse me, officer. Captain, police captain. I worked so hard for it. Miss Fleming.
Judge Fleming.
Yeah, and it continued there, getting all the way down to Indian chieftains and so forth, typically taking it to the most absurd place possible in a hilarious way. Well, fresh off that Barbara Boxer, and given that Kamala Harris not only replaced her, but is on the ballot today, as we know, David Zucker has a new offering, Kamala Land, which takes us to a Hamas bunker in Gaza.
Now our operatives are through the southern border. What is the plan?
We don't have to do anything, sir. The Americans are destroying themselves. All they have to do is vote.
What is wrong with the reception? There is not 3 seconds without interference.
Sir, we're a mile down in a bunker. Oh, look, it's working.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke.
What means this woke?
When the stupid people of a society are celebrated as the smart ones, and the smart ones cannot do anything about it.
What about the president?
Severe dementia. New president now.
Oh my God. Trump?
No. It's her.
Talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke.
And this woman?
Will be the leader of the free world.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
You are lying.
Kemosabe, hear me out. A stupid American president is good for us.
Unburdened by what has been, what can be. Unburdened by what has been. What can be, unburdened by
But how will they get anyone to vote for her?
They tell the people that she will bring joy.
Really see joy.
The power of joy.
Want to spread joy.
Ms. Joy.
The president of joy.
Let us choose joy.
Sit down, Carlo.
For more on this, he's particularly interested in Wisconsin because it is his home state, after all. Please be joined by David Zucker, visionary director, writer, producer behind some of the most memorable laughs in cinema history, as we were discussing. David Zucker, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm happy to be here, except I think your producers got it wrong. I'm not taking sides in this election. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is let the best man win.
Of course. That can be taken so many different
Let's get
ways.
this straight.
Yes.
Depends on what a man is, David. Yes.
Yes.
Well, you hail from Milwaukee, for those who don't know. So tell us about your particular interest in your homeland.
Well, I love Wisconsin, and the air we breathe is blue there. So this is where I got all my political background, but I was able to change around 2024, I think, or I mean not 2024.
What?
That's
very recent.
2004, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it was fairly recent, and and I'm the only one in my family who has, gone over to the dark side. So and they're shocked, but it's they still love me. And I remember I did a interview in 2004 for the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, and it kind of came out. And I knew my mom was a little bit embarrassed about it with her friends. And I said, I kind of was apologetic to my mom. I said, Mom, I guess I'm the black sheep of the family. And she said, oh, no, you do a lot of good things, too.
That's nice of her.
This is how it is in Wisconsin. And so still my extended family are still, Democrats. And but I have gotten some of my friends to change a little bit. This is true. I got a couple of them to just not vote for president. You don't have to vote for Trump. Just leave it blank. Don't vote for her. So that's already progress, I think.
You haven't been able to get to Harrison Ford or Bruce Springsteen, though, to this point.
No, but I have. My friends out here who have been out here. I have this group of conservative friends who I have a Zoom call with every Sunday, and it's a lot of fun. And we talk. Some of the people are from L.A. One is one of my college roommates from the University of Wisconsin, and we just have remained friends for all these years. We watch Packer games. I shouldn't mention that on this station,
right.
but
that's okay.
But I will say the Bears are much better this year. So the whole NFC North is good, which is terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for patting us on the head there.
Yeah. So what are you doing personally to get out the vote in Wisconsin for people to vote for Trump?
I haven't done anything, getting out the vote, but I've done this video. Okay. So hopefully people will see it. I think it's called Kamala Land or Hamas Bunker. And but I wanted to get on the radio on this show, so maybe you can have your reach extends to Wisconsin.
Oh, it does.
And I want people to know that there are a few of us out in Hollywood who are not brainwashed, and we still know which end is up, and it just makes so much sense. This is, of course, the most important election. I just think that there's such a stark choice, and everybody and it's all because, like I say in the video, it's irrational, brainwashed hatred. They hate Trump, and that's what Kamala says. She says, well, Trump, every question she answers just with, well, Trump did this, even the border. So Anderson Cooper, did you see the Anderson Cooper clip?
Yeah.
Where he asked her about the border? It's incredible. And she doesn't have an answer. And he's actually, Anderson Cooper, he's actually pretty good. He kind of follows up on the questions, and all she can do is say, well, Donald Trump was president for 4 years and blah, blah, blah. So it just doesn't make any sense. I think it's totally outrageous that this woman would be president. And that's kind of what I tried to say in the video.
I mean, the video takes place in this, in this Hamas bunker in Gaza,
Right.
and so, I mean, is that sort of signaling your preeminent concern is about the war in the Middle East, or is that just a
it's
backdrop?
really it is. Well, I think it is our foreign policy, but it all has to do with domestic policy, like inflation. It's like inflation there under Trump's presidency. We were a net oil producer, and then they stopped all that. And I'm an environmentalist. I mean, I'm the longest serving board member of Tree People, so I have some credibility. But I wouldn't wreck our economy to stop our oil production. And then the other thing that Trump did was to stop the sanctions on Iran. And so they had a lot more money, and that's what's causing terrorism. That's what's caused October 7th. Putin, I think, saw weakness in the Democrats and invaded Ukraine, and it just it's all part of one thing. And so it would completely. I can't remember an election. Well, maybe 2020 also, but it would be such a reversal of policy, and the fact that Trump will, not only stop the appeasement of Iran, but he's going to put Elon Musk in to try to, reduce this national debt, and there's so much waste in government, and he's going to put in the smartest people, and Bobby Kennedy will be in charge of vaccines.
Well, we'll see exactly what role that he plays, but yes, right.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
So again, somebody who's done these legendary comedies, I have to ask you what you think of the state of Hollywood, talking about wokeness and the censorious nature of the left and so forth, the identitarian political culture. Mel Brooks gets asked it all the time, could you make Blazing Saddles today? I mean, Steve Carell says, I couldn't make The Office today. We couldn't make The Office today, which is rather jarring. I mean, could you make Airplane today, do you think?
Sure, just without the jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it would not be Airplane.
You make it as a documentary. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's become so, I think audiences will laugh. It's the studio boardrooms who are so frightened. They don't want to offend anyone. And a comedy, when it works, needs to be offensive. I mean, you have to go right up to that line. We did the jive talk in
Barbara
in
Billingsley.
Airplane.
Yeah, of course.
But with Barbara Billingsley. And in fact, there's been memes out showing Kamala with all her accents. When she's talking to a black audience, she goes into this black dialogue. And so somebody juxtaposed that with Barbara Billingsley talking with the jive dudes in Airplane. So it's so there's no comedy, there's no movies. I guess they have. I mean, there's always going to be TV comedy, but if you've noticed, movies have disappeared from comedy has disappeared from movie screens. So it's weird. I wrote a script for Naked Gun 4 with my writing partners, Pat Proft and Mike McManus. And we went to Paramount. It's a great script. And, and they rejected it in favor of Seth MacFarlane, who did Family Guy. And I thought it was because I'm a white guy, but it turns out that had nothing to do with it. They just hired younger white guys. So there's a lot of ageism as well as political correctness going on.
So is Paramount still preparing to remake Naked Gun?
Yes, they are. It's going to come
Just
out
Without
in
You?
2025.
Yeah.
And
who's gonna play Lieutenant Drebin? Queen Latifah?
Yeah, no, it's Liam Neeson.
Oh,
and so
that could be
actually,
good. That could be good.
Liam Neeson is funny, but the thing is, you can't really replace Leslie Nielsen.
No,
that's a tough hill to climb. and our idea was to not replace Leslie Nielsen. We just wanted to put Leslie Nielsen's son, who would be somebody like Andy Samberg. And
that could have been good too. Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't even have been an L.A. cop. It would have been a, Bourne Bond, Mission Impossible, a international spy thriller. And so we wanted to completely refresh the genre, the franchise. And so we have retitled our script. It's called Counterintelligence, spelled with one L and a J. And so we're going out with that.
All right, David Zucker, thank you so much for all the laughs over so many years. David Zucker, visionary director, writer, producer behind Airplane, co-directed Top Secret, the Naked Gun franchise we were talking about, on and on. Do check out, we'll tweet it out, Kamala Land, his latest video. And, if you're not going to do it for Peanut the Squirrel up in Wisconsin, do it for David Zucker. Go out and vote for Donald Trump. David Zucker, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. This has been fun.
Great.
Thanks.
We'd love to have you back sometime. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you heard about this guy, Donald Rainwater?
I sure have. Guy was a deadbeat dad. Total loser.